Henry W. Steele here for the third installment of the Time Forecasting Made Very Easy videos. In the very first video I showed you that on a 4-hour Euro-US dollar chart, like this one right here, that time counts of 12 candles can show you important change in markets. In the second video I showed you that the time counts of 6, 12, 18, 18, 24, and 30 can give you important turning points or change in market points really in the same Euro-US dollar 4-hour chart. Now in this video I'm going to show you that it does still work, and I'm going to explain to you why it works, what we're looking at actually when we do this. Now I'm going to scroll here to the most current time, or the most current area of the chart here. And we see that we have the last month or so of the Euro-US dollar on this 4-hour chart for what we can see here. And each one of these is just a 12-bar time count. And we see, if you take a look at all this chart, you can see that it works. It still works very well. I mean, this top to right here shows the bottom where the market moves sideways. If we count from here, we get to the bottom right here where the market starts to move back up again. If we count from this bottom 12 bars, we get this bottom right here. From this bottom 12 bars, we get this midpoint right here. It's not actually a midpoint, it looks like it, and you could consider it that, but if we look at it, this is really a bottom, because the next candle the market moved up significantly before it came back down. It just happened within the one candle, the next candle. If we look from here, this one to here, we actually get a middle count. Excuse me, middle forecast. And what happens here is basically the market was moving sideways. We had a failed forecast here, so to speak, but it happened in the middle of the trend, and since it was a sideways trend, it was in the middle of that sideways trend. Counting 12 from this bottom right here, we get this top right here. 12 from this top, we get the move down right here, beginning of the move down. 12 from this top gives us this top. 12 from this top gives us this halfway point here in this move down before we had a retracement right up there, and on and on and on and on. We keep looking until we have 12 from this bottom right here, gives us a forecast into the future right there. So basically I'm showing you right here that the 12 candle count does still work, and frankly I like it the best. It works the best, I think, out of all the 5, 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30 candle count. And the reason I like 12 the best, and I think that it works the best, is because the 12 candle count on the 4-hour chart is actually equal to the number 144. And I'm going to explain to you how that is. And the answer to that is basically we're looking for the ratio of 2 to 5, or 2/5 of a whole. And this is an important ratio because that ratio is the number 144. You may ask, how is 144 equal to 2/5? Well, that's a good question. If we take a time period and consider that to be the whole, and then divide that into 360 degrees, so the time period becomes a cycle to us now, you see that 360 divided by 5 equals 72 degrees, or 1/5 of 360. So if we multiply 72 times 2, you get 144 degrees of the circle, or of our cycle. So in this way, 2/5 is equal to 144. So basically when we look at 144, we're really looking for 2/5 of the cycle, whichever that may be. Now we ask, how is it that our 12 candle static count is the number 144? Well, the Forex market trades for 5 24-hour days each week. This makes the week our time cycle and becomes 360 degrees to us. 144 degrees of this cycle is equal to 2 trading days of 24 hours each, or 48 total hours. On the 4-hour chart, 12 bars is equal to the 48 hours, or 144 degrees of the weekly time period, if we consider it a cycle, which we do. So you see, the secret to the static time count method is knowing where to start, and I alluded to that in the very first video actually. The starting point is not which high or low to choose, but rather your time period to turn into a cycle. You can choose 1 hour as your time period, 1 day as your time period, a week or a month or a year or whatever. It works best if you use a natural time period, one found in nature, in other words, an hour, a day, a week, or a month, and so on. In the examples I give in the first two videos, I have used the weekly cycle as the starting point. Then I used the 4-hour chart, as it is my favorite, and used a line that was 144 degrees, or 2/5 of that weekly cycle, or 12 candles long. The second video I used all of the 5 time periods, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5 of the weekly cycle. That's why they all worked to some extent, but not as well, I don't think, as the 144 degrees or 2/5 one. And the 144 degree time count works very well and gives good results on the weekly chart, as we can see by looking right here. I showed you before. And you may ask, what's so special about 144 degrees of a circle, or 2/5? And that I will keep for another video. And thank you for watching this video.